My name is Sydney. I'm part of your healthcare team here at the clinic. We're now talking to all of our patients, no matter the cause of their visit, about their alcohol and drug use and also about depression. We know that these things affect your health, and we just want to get the big picture while you're here. Is it all right if I ask you some questions?
Yes.
Okay, and everything that you say today will be completely confidential, and your answers will only be shared with healthcare professionals here at this clinic. Do you have any questions or concerns?
No.
Okay, then we'll start with a few questions. How many times in the past 12 months have you had 4 or more drinks in one day?
Probably 50 or more.
Okay. How many times in the past 12 months have you used illegal drugs or used prescription drugs for non-medical reasons?
None.
All right. And then a couple questions about mental health. Over the past 2 weeks, have you often been bothered by little interest or pleasure in doing things?
Yes.
And feeling down, depressed, or hopeless?
Yes.
Okay. I have just a few more questions for you. All right. And how often do you have a drink containing alcohol? And for your reference, there's a chart that shows what a standard drink size is for different types of alcohol.
I would say 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay. And how many drinks containing alcohol do you have on a typical day you're drinking?
Probably 7 to 9.
Okay. How often do you have 4 or more drinks on one occasion? Would you say less than monthly, weekly, or daily?
Weekly.
Okay. And the rest of the questions kind of go with that same setup. How often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you had started?
Less than monthly.
Okay. And how often during the past year have you failed to do what was expected of you because of your drinking?
Less than monthly.
How often during the past year have you needed a drink first thing in the morning to get yourself going after a heavy drinking session?
Less than monthly.
Okay. And how often during the past year have you had the feeling of guilt or remorse after drinking?
Never.
Okay. And how often during the past year have you been unable to remember what happened the night before because of your drinking?
Less than monthly.
Okay. And have you or someone else been injured because of your drinking?
No.
Has a relative, a friend, or a doctor or other healthcare professional been concerned about your drinking or suggested that you cut down?
Yes, but not in the past year.
Okay. I'm going to add up your score. Okay, would it be okay with you if I shared your results?
Yes.
All right. So according to the answers that you gave me, based on what you said, the screening showed that you fall within the risky area. Do you have what do you think about that?
I don't see how I fall under the risky part because I don't think I have a drinking problem.
Okay. Just because you fall within the risky zone doesn't necessarily mean that you have a problem. It just means that the behavior that you are partaking in right now puts you at risk for health concerns or possibly later on developing a problem. Do you have any questions or concerns?
No.
Okay. So you said you don't have a problem, and I just have a couple more questions for you. What are some good things about drinking for you?
It's something that helps me relax, and it's fun going out with my friends.
Okay. What are some not so good things about drinking?
The next day, feeling like crap and having hangovers.
Okay. So on one hand, you like going out with your friends and having fun and relaxing, forgetting about your day. On the other hand, it sounds like you really don't enjoy the next day and how you feel with the hangovers and headaches. So what do you know about the way that alcohol affects your body?
I know of like a few things.
Okay, do you have any concerns related to your health?
I get headaches.
Okay, would it be okay with you if I share some information about how alcohol can affect your body?
Yes.
Alright, so we have this pamphlet that we give to our patients. And in this pamphlet, it just talks about what is considered to be one drink, the standard sizes. Also, it talks about what puts you within the low risk limits of drinking. And for women, it would be no more than 3 drinks on one day or no more than 7 drinks per week. As well as this chart that shows the effects of alcohol on several different systems of the body and different areas of the body and some of the symptoms that you might experience due to alcohol consumption, as well as some facts about mixing alcohol with anything and the effects it has on your heart rate and breathing rates. Do you have any questions or concerns after looking at that?
No, but I did notice that it says like the headaches and hangovers affect your health and also poor coordination.
Okay. So if you don't mind, which I appreciate you sharing with me, I have just a couple more questions. So on this chart, this is a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being not at all ready to make any change, and 10 being very ready to change. Where would you put yourself on that scale?
I would probably put myself at a 4.
Alright. And why would you say a 4 and not a 2?
I would say a 4, not a 2, because I don't like how I feel the next day.
Okay. And why would you say a 4 and not, let's say, an 8?
I would say because I enjoy going out with my friends and having that fun, relaxing time with them.
Okay. So on one hand, it sounds like you really you don't see a problem with what you're doing. You think it's fine. You just are going out and having a good time with your friends. But on the other hand, you'd be willing to make a change because you don't really like the way that you feel the next day or the headaches. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay. What steps, if any at all, would you be willing to make today or in the future to make that change?
I could find a different hobby to relieve my stress.
Okay. So if I understand that correctly, then you know that the possible health risks now and the problems that it might cause for you, and you've decided that it might be good for you to possibly cut back and find a different way to relieve stress for yourself. What might you do to make that change?
Instead of going for drinks after work, I can go to the gym and start working out.
Okay. It sounds like a great lifestyle change that might be beneficial to you in many aspects of your health, as well as helping you cut back. Have you ever tried to make a change in the past?
Yes, but then I got stressed out again, so I went back to drinking.
Okay. So it sounds like having a different outlet, a way of relieving that stress by like going to work out after work instead of going for drinks might be beneficial to you in sticking to your plan. Is there any other ways you might find to help you stick to your plan? Like, is there a gym nearby that you might be able to?
Yeah, there is actually a gym on my way home from work, so it would be something that would be easy for me to do.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a great way. I mean, getting the membership and you pass it anyways, and work seems important to you, and you don't want to mess anything up with that. So it sounds like going to the gym after work would be a great option for you. So we have this pamphlet that we talked about earlier, and I'm gonna write some things down that we talked about on things for you to try, and you can have that to take home. Would it be okay if I called you in the next 2 weeks or so to see how you're sticking to your plan?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for coming in and sharing today.
Thank you.